Hi, Andy McPhee here at F.A. Davis. I thought we'd talk today a little bit about the difference between co-authors and contributors. They are very, very different. And I know a lot of beginning authors wonder whether they should bring somebody on board to help out with the work, and if so, in what capacity. So let's go over that a little bit. A co-author is an individual who shares in both the risk and the reward of writing a book. So you can expect more of them if you're setting up a situation where you will get 50% and your co-author will get 50%. Great, but that means that person should do half of the work because it's a joint effort. So they're more invested in the product. They're more invested in the final outcome. Make sure, though, before you bring any co-author on, that you can work with them, that you get along with them, because they're in it for the long haul and you're in it with them for the long haul. One co-author cannot remove another co-author unilaterally from a contract. Doesn't happen. You go into a contract, you must go out of it together, you must go out of it together. And it's got to be mutual. So keep that in mind. The other thing with a co-author is that they are listed on the cover of the book and the title page of the book. So that may be very helpful in shoring up marketing support if the person is a well-known author or well-known expert in the field. And so it may help in that regard. Contributors generally are not. Not always, but generally are not noted on either the cover or the title page. Contributors. Contributors are work for hires. You pay them one time. I'm going to talk about payment in a minute. You pay them a one-time fee for doing X amount of work. So you may want to have 2 of your 12 chapters, let's say, contributed. So you give X amount of money to that person who's going to write those 2 chapters, and they give you the information, and you can do whatever you want with it. It's yours. And it becomes part of the copyright of your book. They're done. You don't have to work with them ever again. You may work with them again in the next edition if you want. Absolutely. It's totally up to you. And the author makes those arrangements. Publishers may certainly help out giving you a standard contributor agreement form, but it really is between you and the authors, you and the contributors. Now, why is it your contract? It's your contract because contributors are typically paid out of the advance. An advance is the amount of money that the publisher gives to the author for now. But then you pay it back as the book begins to sell after it's published. That's why it's called an advance. So your contributor, maybe they're going to get, I don't know, $500 for whatever work they're going to do. You don't start receiving royalties until that $500 is paid back. Generally, it doesn't take very long, depending on how many contributors have. The bonus, the good part about a contributor is they're giving you content. It takes the load off of you for preparing, that content for this chapter, that chapter, whatever the case may be. But they are not going to be as invested in the outcome as you are. So if you keep going back to them to make changes, make changes, they may say, hey, forget it, I'm not getting paid enough. And in a way, at that point, they may be right. So you're not going to get them as invested as you would a co-author. Above all, if you're a single author coming into this and wondering about a co-author or a contributor, the main thing to think about is, would I rather work alone or with somebody else or other people? If you'd much rather work alone, then contributors is the way to go. If you enjoy, though, that collaborative atmosphere of bouncing ideas off of one or more other people, you might tend to want to get a co-author or more than one co-author, as the case may be. So I hope this helps explain a little bit about the difference between co-authors and contributors. I've got a little bit of a virus thing I'm getting over, so I probably don't sound that good. And I'm not really jokey right now, so you'll have to take it as it is. Listen, have a great weekend.